there was a comment on ESPN on Get Up talking about with Josh Allen, that was a tough loss by the Chiefs or by the Bills to the Chiefs. Obviously, we know Lamar Jackson won, but Dan Orlovsky and Ryan Clark had a very interesting conversation about what Lamar Jackson has had to do, and did Josh Allen do enough for the Bills? So I want you guys to listen to that, and we'll react on the other side here.
Buffalo is great. Josh Allen is the only quarterback in the history of the NFL.
Okay, so I have a question.
To account for 50 touchdowns in a season.
That's great, yeah.
And not get to the title game. He's done it twice.
Josh, you're big. We're on the goal line. Let's quarterback sneak it. Okay, that's great. Good job, Josh. So I think he's great. Let me be very clear to all the people. I think Josh Allen is amazing. I think he is ultimately talented. I think he's doing things with the football I've never seen done at that position. He's still not great. He's still not the winner that we always try to make him be. We keep making excuses for him like he's LeBron, right? Like before LeBron went to Miami and took his talents to South Beach and made the big three, this is what we always did. Oh, but he's this and he's that. No, when he does it, he does it. Guess what's about to happen?
What?
Guess what's about to happen? We are 1 week away. 1 week from during Josh Allen's tenure, Patrick Mahomes going to a ton of Super Bowls, Joe Burrow going to a Super Bowl, and Lamar Jackson going to a Super Bowl, right? What we never do is come in here, oh my gosh, Lamar wasn't helped by anybody. Poor Lamar, poor Lamar. No, it's Lamar got to win. Lamar got to figure out a way. This season, Patrick got to figure out a way. Patrick got to make these guys around him better. They're dropping the ball, but this team shouldn't look like this. Oh, why is Patrick freaking out? Guess what Patrick has done? He righted the ship. Josh Allen had a chance. It's fine to come in here and say that he played great, but he didn't do enough, because that's the truth. He didn't do enough.
And that's where we disagree, because I do believe, I have told you this.
What's the score?
They lost. But they lost, and not because Josh didn't do enough. There's one play that we could point to and say, man, Josh, I would have loved for you to have made a different decision. There's so many other, a missed field goal, trying to get 2 free runners on Patrick Mahomes and get him to the ground, a bomb to a guy who's a 1 at wide receiver, a bomb to Sherfield, another bomb to Sherfield. Make one of those. Make one of those, and then we got a different conversation. There's no—
All right, so let's talk about this for a minute here, because this obviously devastating game if you're a Bills fan. And Tyler Bass, who's been a great kicker, and we mentioned it earlier, you can be great all year, but when you have that moment, it's magnified. That was a tough moment. And that was a really good game. I feel like the Chiefs and Bills always have these types of games. But, Brad, a lot of people, and I know because you have a different perspective on it, you don't agree with Ryan Clark. And that's saying that you believe that Josh Allen really did do everything he could do. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for them to come out for the victory, so it shouldn't be on him.
Yeah, I just feel like that Ryan Clark and myself were watching 2 different games, because there was 2 giant plays to Sherfield and to Diggs in which both of those passes were dropped. And Josh Allen played a flawless game. We always kind of get on Josh for turning the ball over a lot. He didn't turn the ball over once. And no, he didn't have a bunch of yards like we expected him to. But again, quite a few drop passes that were actually deep balls. Kansas City had, I believe, 4 more chunk plays and plays that were longer than 20 yards or more. And it was the Bills that fell short of that. I think they only had 1. And then you had the defense that was totally beaten up. Pacheco ran all over them. So, you know, I understand what Ryan Clark is trying to say, but it was the Bills that didn't do enough to win. It wasn't Josh Allen, in my opinion.
Well, you know, the crazy part, you bring this up, the Bills control time of possession, Zach. Like it was, the Bills had the ball for over 37 minutes. And the Chiefs then, they took advantage of their opportunities when they did. And credit to the Chiefs defense, they didn't allow those big plays. But to Brad's point, they were just misses. But isn't this the conversation that happens with Lamar Jackson or other quarterbacks? Quarterbacks get a lot of the blame when they don't win. And right now, Buffalo, when we've looked at this, hasn't gotten back to an AFC championship game in what? Since that one game of the Stephon Diggs picture, if I'm not mistaken.
Standing there. He's still standing there watching, apparently.
They update it. They update it every single season. What is it, 4? 4 now?
Yeah, 4 straight. 4 years.
Yeah.
So I agree mostly with Brad. I think the Bills overall lost that game, but I don't think Josh Allen played this perfect game. I think he missed a lot of balls, especially to Shakir. I think that should have been a touchdown. He got, I know it was said in here, he lost a fumble that they got back in a classic Josh Allen playoff way where he just fumbles it out of nowhere. But I think overall the Bills just, I don't want to say they got lucky, because obviously that missed kick, you don't feel like they got lucky, but that almost felt like a ball don't lie moment because of everything that had gone on prior in that game. You had the botched fourth down going for it where the Chiefs had 10 guys on the field. It looked like a lot. I don't think that was actually called going into the play. I think they noticed the Chiefs had 10 guys on and quickly audible to a go for it. Chiefs go down, fumble it through the end zone. Then you had first play of the game. Stephon Diggs fumbled the first play of the game, and the Bills smartly knocked it out of bounds. Maybe it was the second play of the game for a penalty. But there were just plays all along that you just felt like, okay, the Chiefs have this under control, which was weird because, like you said, Ryan, the Bills controlled time of possession, but it didn't feel like they were controlling the game. It felt like the Chiefs just kept having these moments where it was like, oh, they can put it away. They can completely take over. And then the Bills would get out of it somehow. So it was a very, as always, entertaining game between those two. I mean, they're instant classics every time. But it was a weird feeling where I couldn't pinpoint who lost it for the Bills, but I don't think it was just Josh Allen. But I do think he could have done more.
Yeah, so I mean, just to give a point of this as well, and just to give you a final stat line on Josh Allen. And Joe, this is the thing. Football is a team game. Those conversations on ESPN are garbage of talking about it. But the narrative is, and this is what we talk about, because Lamar gets this all the time in Baltimore, is, well, Lamar doesn't win. But it is a team game. And for Josh Allen, to give the context, he was 26 of 39, 186 yards, passing touchdowns, and he ran for 2 touchdowns and also ran for 72 yards. I know a quarterback that runs for a lot of yards too, but he's not viewed as the same player as Josh Allen. We just mentioned he's Lamar Jackson. But the point being, the Bills, for some reason, whatever it is, and Kevin, I got a question for you with this, because the question, or at least that Ryan Clark was trying to make, was that why does it seem like there's an excuse if they don't win? And I agree, it is a team game, and I'm 100% going to say that it is not just on one player. And I thought Josh Allen, what has been Josh Allen's Achilles heel, Kevin? Turnovers, right? So Josh Allen protected the ball. It was that. At the end of the day, though, the Bills just didn't they made one less big play than the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, and it is a team sport. And for me, I don't think placing all the blame on Josh Allen is the right thing to do. It's like, I don't think putting the blame on any quarterback is the right thing to do 100% there. But I think part of the point Ryan was trying to make there when he was going on this rant was, in particular, he brought up Lamar and Mahomes. But even if you want to just take the Mahomes part out and talk about Lamar, when you go back to the Pittsburgh game, when his receivers had 7 drops, what were all the headlines in the national media? It was, is Lamar living up to his contract, this, that, and the other?
Lamar can't beat the Steelers.
Yeah. So for a game like this with Josh Allen, where there was a fumble that the Chiefs should have recovered, but they didn't. There were turnovers here and there, but they weren't turnovers. That's just, the ball bounces one way, the ball bounces another way. That's just how it doesn't matter if it was almost a turnover. If Tyler Bass makes that field goal, if it goes to overtime, and if the Bills win, we're having a completely different conversation about Josh Allen was super clutch here and there, and he had a great game. So it's a matter of circumstance of how the actual result went. And I think Josh Allen didn't go out there and miss the field goal, but he played a part in the loss, even though I did think he did play relatively well. But to blame it all on Josh Allen, I don't think is the right move.
No, I agree. And I mean, Rock, I can see you're shaking your head up and down or whatever way you're shaking it, but again, this is just kind of what we're dealing with. And I do feel for Buffalo. This felt like this was going to be the opportunity. If you were going to break through, and it's kind of like your kryptonite. The Packers, their kryptonite in the playoffs has been San Francisco, right? And in this case, Buffalo's kryptonite has been Kansas City. And you have it at home. It doesn't help, too. Bulletin board material, Deion Dawkins?
Deion Dawkins, Temple guy. To you, baby. I know what he said, but still to you.
So people that didn't know, Deion Dawkins said Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs haven't played in Buffalo when it's fully packed, and they won't be ready. It's game time, and then Patrick Mahomes clapped back after they won. But Rock, it's just the reality of how it is. Buffalo, their best shot. And unfortunately for them, it was a great opportunity that they let pass by.
Yeah, unfortunately. And this fan base has dealt with so much of that over, I mean, just dating back to the 90s and before. It's like when you get to 4 straight Super Bowls and can't win one, and then you think you have a team in this generation to go out and win a Super Bowl, but you can't get to the game. It's like you seem like you're so close. You seem like you're one of the favorites. It seems like Josh Allen and other guys, skill position guys, are going to get you in the best position possible to go out there and win one. And then you run into a brick wall that is the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's tough. But I agree with both Brad and Kevin on this. Josh Allen did not lose them this game. Obviously, they didn't win it, but to lead a 16-play, 54-yard drive and to set your team up with a chance to kick a game-tying field goal, and, they still could have lost. They still could have lost. Patrick Mahomes could have drove down the field. They could have kicked the field goal. They could have scored a touchdown. They could have put the game away. It's tough. It stings. The fan base, I do feel bad because the Buffalo Bills fan base, they're so passionate. They've done so much for the community. Bills Mafia, not only for their community, but for other communities as well, donating to players' charities, helping players out. It's really cool to see. And to see that fan base, I know nobody's going to feel bad for the Buffalo Bills fan base not having a Super Bowl or not winning one in this time and getting there. But it's like, it stinks. I hate it for them. I hate it for the city because they rally around their team. You saw people shoveling snow, having a great time, and no questions asked. They were like, we're going to do what we can to play this game to make it happen. So I do feel for the city of Buffalo. I really do hope they win a Super Bowl at some point in the next couple of years. I mean, I know Ravens fans may be indifferent. They're like, screw the Bills. I hope they never win one. But just as a football fan in general, I would love to see it happen for their city.
I would too. And unfortunately for them, it's been a lot of heartbreak. And the reality is in the AFC too, quarterback wise, 3 of the best quarterbacks. And I know people don't like the Bengals. Joe Burrow is in that category too, but you have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson. 4 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL are all in the same conference. It's going to be really challenging. What's going to get harder for the Bills is that their cap situation's only going to get more challenging as the years go on for them.
And you're going to have to try to figure out, is Joe Brady, the interim, offensive coordinator, going to be brought back? Do they want to go a different way? And in that case, we would, if they decide to go elsewhere, we'd have 2 of those quarterbacks having new offensive coordinators next year.